It's 3 a.m. and you're staring at the ceiling. Your phone is face down beside you. You promised yourself you wouldn't check it. You start to panic a little. Something feels wrong with you, but the real answer is far stranger than insomnia. Your brain isn't broken. It's remembering something your body never forgot. For most of human history, waking up in the middle of the night wasn't a disorder. It was Tuesday. Picture a cave. No streetlights, no screens, just firelight and breathing. Somewhere around midnight, eyes start opening. Not an alarm, calmly like a tide coming in. This is the moment most people picture when they imagine prehistoric sleep, and most people picture it wrong. They imagine cavemen collapsing at sundown and not stirring until sunrise, knocked out cold by a hard day of survival. The truth is messier and a lot more interesting. Historian A. Roger Ekirch spent over a decade digging through pre-industrial diaries, court records, and medical texts. He found something nobody expected. Mentions of a first sleep and a second sleep kept showing up over and over across centuries and continents. People described waking naturally after a few hours of rest, lying calmly in the dark, then drifting off again before dawn. This wasn't insomnia, it was the schedule. So what did they do in that gap? Some prayed. Some had quiet conversations with whoever else was awake. Some thought through the day or worried about the harvest or simply lay there in the dark, listening. Sex was common in that window too, calm and unhurried, without the pressure of needing to fall back asleep immediately afterward. The fire might get tended, a baby might be soothed. Then eventually the body would settle again and the second sleep would come. Here's the part that should make you sit up a little. This pattern isn't ancient history confined to dusty records. It still exists today in real time, in communities that never adopted electric light. UCLA sleep researcher Jerome Siegel led a landmark study tracking 3 hunter-gatherer and pre-industrial societies, the Hadza of Tanzania, the San of Namibia, and the Tsimane of Bolivia. No electricity, no screens, no artificial light pollution. His team strapped sleep monitors to people for weeks and recorded what actually happened after dark. The results surprised almost everyone, including the researchers themselves. These groups didn't sleep in one unbroken block either. They drifted in and out. They woke briefly in the night and didn't panic about it. Average total sleep time hovered around 6.5 hours, not the solid 8 many modern people chase like a finish line. And critically, none of these groups had a word in their language for insomnia. The concept didn't exist because broken sleep wasn't considered broken. Let that sit for a second. The thing you've been quietly diagnosing yourself with at 3 a.m. might not be a malfunction at all. It might be the default setting of the human animal, reawakened by a world that no longer matches it. So why did it disappear? Why does your culture treat a midnight waking like a crisis instead of a Tuesday? The answer arrives with a single invention: the light bulb. Before artificial light, night was long, sometimes 14 hours of darkness in winter. Nobody could fill that much time with one unbroken sleep, so the body split the night into 2 segments with a quiet pocket in between. It made sense. It was efficient. It matched the dark. Then gas lamps came, and later electric light, and suddenly night could be pushed back. Bedtime got later. The window of darkness shrank, and the 2-part sleep pattern, which had survived for tens of thousands of years, started disappearing within a couple of generations. Anthropologist Carol Worthman, who has spent decades comparing sleep across cultures, found that the modern idea of a single, solid 8-hour block is actually one of the most unusual sleep patterns in human history. Not the gold standard everyone assumes it is. Most traditional societies she studied slept in shorter, more flexible bouts, often with multiple people stirring at different points in the night, sometimes responding to each other, sometimes just lying there together in the dark. Notice that detail. Together. Ancient sleep wasn't private the way yours is. It happened in groups, in shared spaces, with the low murmur of other bodies nearby. If you woke at midnight in a cave, you weren't alone with your thoughts and a glowing screen. You were surrounded. The waking itself was social, almost communal, a shared pause in the middle of collective rest. Compare that to now. You wake up. The room is silent. Everyone else seems to be sleeping through because that's what they're supposed to do, because that's what the culture insists is normal. So instead of a calm, expected pause, your 3 a.m. eyes open into isolation. The body does what it has always done. The mind interprets it as fail you.